The first thing we need to focus on is what market session you should be focusing on. You know, who trades the New York session over here? New York session, good. London session? Oh, nice. Yeah, my friends. What about Asian session? Asian session. It's still okay. You know, Asian session is still okay. I started off with trading the Asian session because in Canada, Asian session would be in the evening time. So I was like, yeah, perfect, you know, got time to Asian session. So we did that. So Asian, London, New York. So Asian session. These times are in Eastern Standard Time because Caesar's from Eastern Standard Time. So we made them like this. So pre-Asian. Whenever you have pre-market, we all can see this at the back? Okay. Whenever we have, you know, the time before market open is called pre-market, right? So this is pre-Asian, 2 hours, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. I think in Dubai it's the
4 a.m.
4 a.m.?
Yeah, 4 a.m.
4 a.m. 4 to 6.
Yeah, pretty much like that.
Okay. Asian session. So we're going to stick to these times here for the Eastern Standard Time zone. So we got pre-Asian. Next you have the Asian Open, 8 to 10. So the reason to have these times here is for you to understand when there's volume in the market. You know, because obviously there's like volume in the market is not all day long, because market's going to have a surge of volume, and then we're going to start to consolidate, and then there's going to be volume again, right? There's not volume all the time. So these times are just to show that there's volume between this time. Then there's volume at this time right over here. You know, so next we go to, let's say, the London session. Pre-London, my favorite way to trade. My favorite time, pre-London, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern time. I think in Dubai is like in the morning, from 9 a.m. till 11, right? Great time to trade. Don't trade at your job, I'm telling you. It's not going to work. I know some of you guys do this, but pre-London, then you have London Open, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Dubai is like 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., right? Yep.
Why London?
What?
Why London?
Why London? I'm going to get to that. Right? Then you have London close. You have pre-New York. New York close. Oh, let's go back. Let's go to... So the reason why we have these times here, we all know about these times, but the biggest reason why these times are important, because this is for you to understand that these are the times when there is volume in the market, right? So now, I want you guys to look at your life, right? I want you guys to look at how your entire day is structured, and then I want you to ask yourself that in that whole day, when do you have time? Free time. When do you have time? So pick that time bracket. For me, it's like midday. For me, from 11 a.m. till 1 to 2 p.m., I got some free time. So if I look at my time, okay, I have this free time. In that free time, what session falls in that time? So for me, pre-London and London, this falls perfectly in that time, right? If I miss this, then I ask myself, okay, what's the next time of my day do I have time? It's the evening time. Evening time when I'm home, kids in bed at like 7 p.m., 7:30. I'm like, okay, so for that, I have this session right over here in Dubai, evening time. So I focus on this. I'm not going to focus on this because I'm waking up, drop kids to school, go to the gym. You know, I can't trade this because my life, the way my life is structured, it does not allow me to trade Asian session, you know, or it does not allow me to trade pre-New York or New York close because I'm busy at that time, right? So you need to dictate when you should be trading. Like a lot of you guys let the market dictate when you should trade. I know a lot of guys say, oh, you know what, I didn't take any trade today. Later on in the day, we have FOMC, so I'm going to trade FOMC. I'm like, are you a dumbass, man? Like, why are you going to do that to yourself? You know, if you missed your opportunity to trade, that's fine. Now you can come back the next day. That's totally okay. Because, you know, if I'm looking forward to trade pre-London or London, you know, and for some reason I miss trading this, I'm going to say, okay, you know what, that's totally fine. Because my life says, or my trading rules are, and by the way, this is going to tie up really amazingly into the trading plan that we're going to create at the end of this day here today. It's going to tie into that really great. So you need to figure out what time suits you best. You need to figure that out for yourself. And don't get me wrong, we're not always going to have volume over here, or we're not going to have volume over here all the time, or these are just what do you call it? Like brackets in the market where there should be volume. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Shan, how are you? Good to see you. Shan's a very busy guy. Yeah, right? So these are brackets in the market where there should be volume, right? Sometimes, you look at the London session and you find out that, okay, so you're sitting waiting for pre-London. You're waiting for pre-London, you're looking at the charts and you're like, man, like Asian session moved a lot. There was big candles and I'm looking at the London session now and there's no volume over here. Why isn't there volume? What's going on? It happens, There's not going to be always there's going to be volume over here. It may consolidate. If this consolidates, maybe the volume is going to come at London Open. But sometimes both these sessions consolidate, right? Like you're looking at the London session, you're like, oh man, London session is pretty choppy today. There's nothing happening. Maybe there's no volume at this time. There's no volume, you close the charts, you go about your day, and later on when you look at the charts and it's maybe like, pre-New York or New York Open, you see big candles forming, right? What happens? FOMO. Who gets FOMO? I get FOMO. I still get FOMO. You get FOMO. But then you have to understand that, okay, maybe today there was no volume in London session. Maybe it was just that day there's going to be no volume in London session. And maybe the volume came after in New York session. But most days of the week, you're going to have volume in your session. Some days there's going to be no volume. It's just like sales. When we would go out knocking doors, some days we would get 4 sales in a day, made easy, easy money. But some days, 2-3 days in a row, we would get no sales. We say, okay, yeah, that's fine. It's a numbers game, no sales, no problem. We'll come back the next day, start knocking, we'll get a sale. Same thing right over here. Sometimes I don't find my setup. Sometimes I'm looking at the charts and price just moves without any confirmations, without any hint for me to enter the trade, just moves. I tell myself, okay, you know what? That's fine. No problem. I'll come back the next day and I'm going to trade then. I may find some setup. So understanding market sessions is very important because it's going to tell you that, okay, what time should you execute a trade? Very important. We good over here? Yep. Who trades all the sessions now, still? All the sessions. No, yeah, I got you. Why, Habibi, why are you doing this? Stop it. Less is more, trust me. Less is more. We've all heard this. Less is more. It's easy to manage, easy to journal.